Love, love, until I hear the breath of the Spirit flowing in me.
Hello and welcome to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. Today our guest is Leon LeGrand, who has brought Mary's Messages of Medjugorje to Australia and 4 other countries in the world, including one of the visionaries, Ivan Dragicevic, who is representing Australia and America in bringing Mary's Messages, or he's in charge of pretty much those countries. And also the other countries, but mainly those. Leon LeGrand has played a major role, and here he is now. Welcome to the program, Leon.
Thanks, Mirella. Glad to be here.
Oh, God, it's so good to have you back. I thought we might actually start the program with the latest message from Medjugorje, which is to the entire world, which was given on the 25th of April 2015. And then we'll talk about it. Our Lady said, "Dear Queen of Peace, dear children, I am with you also today to lead you to salvation. Your soul is restless, because your spirit is weak and tired from all worldly things. You little children, pray to the Holy Spirit that he may transform you and fill you with his strength of faith and hope, so that you may be firm in the battle against evil. I am with you and intercede for you before my Son Jesus. Thank you for having responded to my call." I thought maybe we'll start with the first sentence. "Dear children, I am with you also today to lead you to salvation." So the whole point of Mary coming and here, she's here just to lead us all to heaven and show us how to get to heaven.
That's right.
The place of peace and love and joy.
That's correct.
Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to say about that?
No, I think the message is clear.
Yeah.
It means change. If we were to experience anything of value out of Medjugorje, it's a change. And the change needs to be heading towards the gift of peace, which comes through prayer and fasting, and particularly starting off with getting rid of our sins by a regular confession or reconciliation.
Absolutely. Your soul is restless because your spirit is weak and tired from all worldly things. With that one, I sort of think sometimes we get caught up in worldly things, and we can't help it because they come into our lives. And Mary does say pray 3 hours a day. So if you do that, at least you're protecting yourself after, if you at least commit to a minimum of 3 hours a day. I remember Ivan was talking about praying 3 hours a day, and he said that this lady was saying, "Oh, come on, Mary shouldn't be saying 3 hours a day." And I think he said something like, he joked with her and he said, no, she's not saying 3 hours a day anymore, she's saying all day. And he goes, she said, "Oh no, all right, I'll do it for 3 hours a day, I'll do it for 3 hours." Because it is so powerful, it does give you the peace, because we do get caught up in, maybe someone says something nasty or offensive or something, or we misunderstand it or something, all these little things that are just human things, they're not holy things. That's what we need to focus on.
Yeah, well, although Our Lady wants us to pray 3 hours a day, she did give it an indication of what would be the minimum for any of us, and that, she said, would be 7 Our Fathers, 7 Hail Marys, 7 Glory Bees, and the I Believe.
Yeah.
Now, this would only take several minutes, but that is the minimum expected of anyone.
Yeah, at least start with that.
So start with that, and then develop
exactly,
a greater prayer life after you get that right.
Yeah, I remember hearing that too, to start, at least start, so that's a good place to start. And then when you do the 3 hours a day, you feel like you could even do more, and somehow you still get everything done. I don't know how it happens. Our Lady then said, "You little children, pray to the Holy Spirit that he may transform you and fill you with his strength of faith and hope, so that you may be firm in the battle against evil." With that, I understood it. Sometimes it means not just to be soft and loving. Sometimes it means to love intelligently. Sometimes you have to say something is incorrect if it's incorrect. So that's being firm in the battle against evil, because you can't just go along loving with everything that's bad. You have to say no to sin and things that are wrong and point it out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that most people realise that this worldliness is something that we have to put up with, but certainly we have to remove ourselves as much as possible from the day-to-day absence of God in the lives of most people.
And also, I think we could pray for protection against evil in our own lives as well, and for God just to put people that are loving and kind and holy around us to protect us from all evil, like it says in the Our Father.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, protect us from all evil. Our Lady says, "You little children, that's right, so that you may be firm in the battle against evil. I am with you and intercede for you before my Son Jesus. Thank you for having responded to my call." So she's then again encouraging us that she's with us. We're not alone. Do as she's asking us to do. She's with us. She's helping us. So as long as we keep this connection and relationship going and prayer life going with Our Lady, we're going to be okay.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Now, I thought maybe we'd talk a little bit about the secrets of Medjugorje. There's not a lot said, and they don't emphasise it too much, but we know for a fact there are secrets that have come out of Medjugorje that only the visionaries know, and they're not allowed to say to anyone until just before the time that they're about to come true. Some of them, there's 10 secrets. Can you elaborate and tell our viewers a little bit more about the secrets of Medjugorje?
Yes, in the many meetings that I've given about Medjugorje, I've actually stayed fairly clear of talking about the secrets because although they are events which are of considerable importance, the most important thing, above all, is for people to convert and change their ways, and by praying daily. Yeah. That's the first one. Yeah. In reference to the secrets, what I've done here is resort to using a book written by Father Pelletier, who wrote this book, Queen of Peace Visits Medjugorje, in 85. And it's very accurate when it comes to discussing what we can expect from the secrets. Although the secrets are secrets, so we don't know exactly what is happening, we do know that it refers to 3 events prior to a sign being left at Medjugorje, a permanent sign which will let everyone know that this is the work of God. In referring to the secrets, Our Lady said that there was a time when Satan really exists, and Satan went before the throne of God, and God permitted him for 1 century, which we don't know the exact start and finish of that, where he will have extra power, and that we're living in that period. But we are getting to the end of that period, and he's become very aggressive, destroying marriages, stirring up division amongst priests, bringing obsessions and murders. Protect yourself with fasting and prayer, especially community prayer. Carry blessed objects with you, place them in your houses, return to the use of holy water. Now, this...
we just have to go to a break now, but we'll actually continue with that after the break.
Okay, thank you.
You're watching Spirit of Life. We'll be back very shortly. Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. If you've just joined us, we're here with Leon Legrand, who has brought many messages of Medjugorje. Our Lady has been appearing in Medjugorje since 1981, June the 24th. He's brought Ivan, one of the visionaries, to Australia and to 4 other countries all over the world. Our Lady's still appearing in Medjugorje, and Leon has been a great spokesperson for Medjugorje for many years. Welcome back to the program, Leon.
Thanks very much, Mirella.
And let's continue. You're talking from the book, The Queen of Peace Visits Medjugorje,
yes,
which is a powerful book that's helped a lot of people, including me, when I first read it.
What I like about it, it's very accurate. The priest who wrote this is a well-known author, and he researched this book very carefully before he wrote it. Then he went back to Medjugorje, spoke to the visionaries and their spiritual advisors, and made sure he had it right. It's important to know that Our Lady wants us to turn back to the Lord. She doesn't want anyone to suffer at all, but the world is in a real mess. We have been told that there are 3 warnings to be given to the world before a great sign is left at Medjugorje. 3 days before any of these warnings, one of the visionaries, Mariana, will advise a priest of her choice, and he will release some information about these particular warnings. The sign eventually will come after the third of those warnings, and Our Lady said, please convert as quickly as possible, because there will only be there will be a great loss of life in those 3 chastisements, or whatever they may be. But
and if you wait till the signs appear, it might
Too
be
late.
too late.
That's
So
what
let's
she
change
said.
now. Let's
Yes.
all convert now.
So the first warning having been given, the others will follow in a fairly short period of time. We're in a time of grace and conversion, and so now we're being called to change our ways, and that's basically what those secrets are about.
Yeah, and the first sign is going to be something, I think, on Apparition Hill. Is that right? Do you remember
Well,
hearing something like that?
that's where the sign
first
will
secret, yeah.
be left, but
Yeah.
the actual warnings that we don't know where they're going to be.
And do we know if they're going to be
situated.
they're awful, the secrets, or if they're good, or
No, those 3 are awful. Our Lady did say, she said, look, you can't expect this world to just continue the way it is. These are corrections,
Yeah.
and the idea of these warnings is to help us change
yeah,
and
in
be prepared.
exactly, yeah, to change our lives
Yeah.
now, not wait till things get worse.
That's
we can
right.
see that the world's in a pretty bad state now. That a lot of people aren't loving one another; they're killing one another. You know, it's the
Yes.
opposite. So we really need to have faith, to have love, to believe again in love. You know.
Exactly.
And go back to the church, see the power of the Holy Mass, see the power of the Eucharist. Jesus is in the Eucharist. Like Our Lady said in that recent message, the Eucharistic joy. I know that was in the message from the 2nd of April. She talked about the Eucharist being the joy, and that's what we see every day when we go to Mass. We see the Eucharist, we receive the Eucharist. And also Our Lady was saying, this is the time the devil is here, you were reading as well. In the 21st century, the world is in the hands of the devil. Why do you think God would have even allowed the world to be in the hands of the devil?
I think it's a testing time, basically, and that time will end, and the power of the devil will be taken away, and the world will live in a very different way, much as it was in old times. So Our Lady said, we don't know what it means by old times. We can only speculate.
Okay, maybe in the beginning when they were Adam and Eve, before they
I
made the sin.
I don't know what period.
Maybe it would be
Our
that
Lady's referring
before
to.
they ate the apple, before they ate the apple of the tree of good and evil. Before that was when everything was perfect. Maybe we'll go back to that. We'll all be living in fruitful gardens
I don't know.
with no sin.
It's a matter of speculation.
It'd be so good if we can create heaven on earth, because it says it in Our Father, to bring heaven on earth. We need
Yes,
to live
that's
heaven
true.
on earth. If we could create that now, if everyone could create that now, we would be living on heaven on earth. And then there would be no one dying, because heaven would be here already.
I suppose so.
Oh, gee, that would be wonderful. Anyway, let's go on to the next thing. So you brought up your children on Mary's messages. Did your children believe in Mary appearing in Medjugorje? How did you bring them up?
We went to Medjugorje. I've been to Medjugorje about 40 times.
Oh, wow.
But I took our children
Yeah.
a couple of times,
Yeah.
and they have no second thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also we've had Ivan come to Australia, stay at our home. Ivan is one of the visionaries,
Yeah.
and they were very impressed with that.
See, that's so powerful. I mean, lots of people just love to meet Ivan. You had Ivan staying in your home. You brought him from Medjugorje to Australia and to 4 other countries in the world, and he lived with you when he stayed in Australia.
Yes.
And you travelled with you when you went overseas. So you must have got to know him quite well.
Yes, we did. Yeah, it was good.
That must have been such a powerful thing, because he sees Mary.
I think it was
Yeah.
a wonderful experience,
Yeah.
really and truly.
Gosh, I think a lot of people would like to be in your shoes.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, the next question. Do you know much about the Cenacle in Medjugorje? There's a place in Medjugorje where they've founded this community where they help people who have got addictions or depression, and they heal them all and get rid of their addictions through prayer, fasting, living all Mary's messages: fasting, prayer, the Eucharist, confession, the five, you know, the Bible.
Yeah, I've been to that place, but I don't know a great deal about it, but except for what you've just said.
Yeah.
It's through prayer that they get their change in life, which is both a spiritual conversion and a physical one as well.
And it's wonderful, and they've had such a high success rate
Oh,
with
tremendous,
it too.
yes.
Through living Mary's messages, prayer,
That's it.
fasting, going to Mass, reading the Bible, saying the Rosary, praying from the heart. Anyway, we have to go to a break now, but we'll continue with this. You're watching Spirit of Life. Stay with us. We'll be back with more very shortly.
Go till I feel the breath of the Spirit blowing in me. Blow, blow, go till I feel the breath of the Spirit blowing in me.
Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. We're here with Leon the Grand. If you've just joined us, Leon the Grand has played a major role in bringing Our Lady Queen of Peace's messages to Australia and to 4 other countries in the world, and also bringing one of the visionaries, Ivan Dragicevic, to Australia, who stayed at his house as well while he was here and attracted thousands and hundreds of thousands of people everywhere in all the churches all over the world. Welcome back to the program, Leon.
Oh, thanks very much, Melissa.
Can you tell us who you've interviewed in Medjugorje? Because you've done a lot of little videos and stuff over the years.
Yeah, we had a professional crew go across, and I interviewed all of the visionaries and most of the priests who were important in the Medjugorje apparitions. In addition to a couple of authors who have written some books about it, like Father Pelletier from France, Father Richard Foley from England, and the Archbishop of Split, Archbishop Franek.
And how did you get in contact with them all to begin with? Like, you would have just been a normal person like everybody else, but how did you manage to get them to get into an interview with you?
I don't really know how it happened, but after my first visit to Medjugorje, I read quite a lot about it. Then I went back there and I met Father Zovko and Father Slavko. Father Slavko died a few years ago.
Yes, that's
but
right.
he was a fantastic fellow.
Beautiful person,
multilingual, he could speak about 8 or 9 languages.
I met him too. He studied psychology as well.
Yes, a wonderful person. He came with Ivan on many of the trips.
Yeah, he stayed at your house too, didn't he?
He did, indeed, yes.
So you've had such a blessed life to meet all these people and have them in your life.
Oh, it's a wonderful opportunity, truly.
And also I'm sure Our Lady appreciates so much the work that you did to get her messages out to so many countries all over the world and to reach and change so many people's hearts, because if you didn't get these videos, they wouldn't have even heard about it.
Yeah, well, the professional videos that we made were made free to NTSC in America, so they were shown all over to millions of people, really.
Have you had any experience before with making videos before you went to Medjugorje?
Not professional ones, no.
Wow, okay, it's beautiful. And also the faith you had was amazing. You went to Medjugorje during the war in Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? How come you went? Our Lady said you're safe if you travel to Medjugorje, is that right?
We made inquiries and they said it was safe to go in, but by the same token, it was a certain tongue-in-cheek because it was a war zone, and every now and then you'd see like army personnel, tanks and whatever. On one occasion we were staying in Medjugorje, we could hear this terrible bangs during the night, and I thought it was a shocking electrical storm. But in the morning I found that virtually all of the shops in Medjugorje were closed, that most of the pilgrims had left during the night. And the reason for it was that Mostar, the nearest city, only a matter of 5 or 6 minutes in a car, had been bombed, and with great loss of life. And that was so close to us. But we were not hurt, and there was no one hurt in Medjugorje.
That's the phenomenal part, because the war was going on just 20 minutes away, yet Medjugorje was not touched at all during the war. That's pretty amazing.
According to one of the priests locally, when the Air Force came in, this is the Serbian Air Force, to try and damage Medjugorje, or at least bomb it, it just suddenly became invisible. They couldn't see anything at all to bomb. And this is like a little miraculous thing in itself. But it was never ever damaged, or no one was ever injured or killed.
It's amazing, because I remember I travelled to Medjugorje before the war and after the war, and people were telling me, don't worry, you'll be safe, because Mary said anyone who travels to Medjugorje will be protected and looked after. And I remember when I was coming back in 1997, the girl on the plane next to me, she wasn't in Medjugorje, she just caught the plane at some other place where she just happened to be on the same plane. And she was trembling on the plane because she was really scared. And I said, look, don't worry. Mary said, if you travel to Medjugorje, you'll be safe. And I've been travelling to Medjugorje and I'm travelling home, so you're safe sitting next to me. And she actually felt reassured. I don't know if she was Catholic or not, but she felt really reassured.
Oh, well, that's
probably
great.
because of my confidence in it.
I'm sure she would.
And tell us also, you wanted to say something about Mary's birthday, Our Lady Queen of Peace's birthday, on the 5th of August. You had something you wanted to share
Yes,
about
Our
that.
Lady, just before the 5th of August, Our Lady told the children that come the 5th of August, it would be the 2000th birthday for her. And it was quite surprising because it rang a bell in my mind. I'd seen or heard before that something special happened on the 5th of August. And it all goes back to one of my favourite basilicas in Rome is St Mary Major. This place is the greatest shrine to Our Lady in the world. And in, I think it was 385 AD, Our Lady appeared to the Pope at that time, Pope Liberius. Yeah. And she said, tomorrow my son will leave a sign on a hill where it will snow, only in that little part. Well, it never really snows in Rome, you know, in the coldest of times, at least if there's a few drops around, it doesn't build up on the ground as it did here, but just this site.
Wow.
And there the snow was on the 5th of August in 385, and they built the greatest shrine to Our Lady. And that place is just phenomenal. It's full of wonderful things, like the little crib that Jesus was born in is in that church.
The actual crib?
The actual crib,
oh
yeah.
My gosh. And when she said the snow will just be in this portion, what was the reason for that? Do you know?
She wanted to mark the area out where she wanted that church.
Exactly,
and that was
where
it.
she wanted the church to be
and
put.
That's where it was put. In fact, originally it was called Our Lady of the Snows.
Ah.
So, but later they changed it.
She also said to fast, didn't she? She's fast 3 days. Fast and pray.
Fast and pray for 3 days before it. And she said there'll be many graces given to people, many healings, particularly spiritual healings. There is one story, I believe, a fellow who was a murderer, and he'd served his time, and he was taken to Medjugorje by the parish priest in this area. And the fellow said, why am I here? I've got no interest in this, no interest in God, no interest in religion, and whatever. And then he went into the room of apparitions where the children were receiving their apparition from Our Lady. And then suddenly he bowled over and, on the floor and was lying on the floor. And after which he came to, and he went through an enormous conversion. And it completely changed his life. He was never the same again.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
That's good news.
A spiritual change.
Conversion,
yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Would you like to come back again next week?
Yes, of course I would.
Thank you. You've been watching Spirit of Life. I'll see you again next week with Leon the Grand. I'm Mirella Rich. See you soon.
Bring it to birth and blow where you will. Blow, blow, blow till I be but breath of the Spirit blowing